Good evening, friends. It's a time for responsive web designs. Not simply responsive designs, performance optimized responsive web designs. For that, we should follow some basic steps perfectly, such as layouts, frameworks, media queries, and performance optimization. In this Coffee at DBG, we will have sessions on this. I will be handling the session web layouts, then frameworks by Mr. Rahul, media queries by Mr. Sumil, and finally performance optimization by Mr. Shiraz. Myself, Ganesh Kumar from UI development team, DBG. So what's actually a web layout? A web layout is actually a skeleton to the front end of a website. Okay. We can consider web layout controls the presentation definition of a website. Different types of layouts. They are fixed layout, fluid layout, adaptive layout, and responsive layout. Before moving into that, we should know the units. The main units are pixel, percentage, M, and rem. Pixel unit. A pixel is actually the smallest addressable area in a screen or in a display. Collection of pixels is called a resolution. I mean, for example, 1024 into 768 display. In that, 1024 pixels in one row, and in one column there will be 768 pixels. So total of 1024 into 768. The exact amount. Okay. We need to multiply that to get the total pixel count. Okay. And when we use pixel for any value, we can directly specify the value. Okay, it will not change according to the layout or screen size or device. It's fixed. Simply, it's fixed. And the default pixel size for font in a browser is 16 pixel. We can change the size if needed. We can change the base font size to 12, 10, or whatever. This is a nesting of pixel unit. All the browsers, yeah.
But we can change the settings of the browser.
Yeah. If we set font size 10 for HTML or body, it will be the base font size. Okay. Nesting of pixel is here. You can see this example is common for all the units. Two divisions or divs with a class box, and this box class has a padding of 20 pixel and font size 12 pixel. So the outer box class, this is the outer box class, has a padding of 20 pixels here, 20 pixels. Okay, and the inner box class has the padding of 20 pixels. Same, there is no change. It's because pixel value will not change. It's not related to any parent element or any other things. In the case of font, it's same. Outer box class has a font size of 12 pixel, and inner box size has a font size of 12 pixel. There is no change. It's straightforward, right? Next. Percentage unit or relative units. It's because it's called relative because it's relative to the parent element. The value will be changed according to the parent element's value. Okay. The default font size is 100%, because in pixel value it's 16 pixels, so we consider 100% as 16 pixels. Okay. If we need to change the font size, base font size, just enter 75%. So it will become 12 pixel. It's because 16 into 75 by 100, 12 pixel. Okay. A nesting of percentage unit. Here, the same divisions, the same class, and the padding changed to 5%. Font size changed to 75%. Here, the outer box class font size will change to 12 pixels. It's because 16 into 75 by 100 is equal to 12. So 12 pixels. And the font size of inner box class will be 9 pixels. It's because it's related to its parent element. So its parent element has 12 pixel font size. So 12 into 75 by 100 is equal to 9. So 9 pixels. Okay. In the case of padding, it's same. Parent box class has a padding of 5%. This 5% is related to the screen width, okay, or screen size. And inner box class has the same padding 5%, but it will be related to its parent element. It's because the inner box class width starts here and ends here, so it's related to its parent. So a padding of 5% is calculated from this point to this point. Okay.
So it is not advised to use percentage for font or even if it is a unit, it is not advised to use just because.
Yeah, in the case of font size, only in font size. We need percentage for fluid designs or any relative size. So it's not advisable to have font size in percentage. The next.
First it used 16 px as the thing. 16 px is the base. It used 75% means 75% of 16. Then it gave you 12.
12.
And inside the nested it took the 75% of 12.
12. Yeah. Right. Next. Then M. Same like percentage. It's related to the parent elements, but some differences. I will tell you now. The default font size is considered as 1 EM. That is, if the font size, base font size is 16 pixels, then 1 EM is equal to 16 pixels. If we change any base font size to 12 pixel or 10 pixel, etc., 1 EM will be 12 pixel. And there is another one step. If we specify any font size for the parent element, it will take that parent element's font size as 1 EM. Okay. Nesting of EM. Here we use padding of 1.5 EM, font size 0.75 EM. Then the outer box class. 0.75 EM calculated as 16 into 75 by 100. 12. It's because this outer class has no parent. So it will take the base font size. So 0.75 EM is equal to 12 pixel. Okay. And for the inner box class, same 0.75 EM will be 12 into 75 by 100. Because it's related to its parent, not to base font size. And in case of padding, this 1.5 EM is calculated as 12 into 1.5 because the base font size changed to 12 pix. So 1 EM is now 12 pix. 12 into 1.5 is equal to 18. So the padding is 18 pixel for the first outer box class. And in the case of inner class, we got a font size of 9 pixels here. So it's considered as 1 EM. Okay.
So this padding get related to the font size.
Yeah, definitely. If we have a specific font size for an element, padding or any other things will related to that font size value. Okay. So here the padding is 13 pixel. It's because 9 into 1.5. So 13 pixel. Pix2em.com is a handy tool for converting pixels to EM or vice versa. We just need to set the base font size here. Okay. Then RUM is a new unit. Apart from percentage and M, RUM unit is related to its base font size, means HTML font size. For example, if we set the base font size to 10 pixel, then one RUM is considered as 10 pixel. Okay. Nesting. Nesting of RAM unit. Here we have padding of 0.775 RAM and font size 0.75 RAM. The outer box class has font size of 12 pixel because base font size 16, then 16 into 75 by 100, 12 pixel. Okay. The inner box class has the same font size. It's because it's not related to its parent. It's related to the base font size. No change. In the case of padding, 0.75 RAM is equal to 12 pixel itself. In the same case, no change in value related to the base font size. So,
it is just like adding the PX value.
yeah, it's like that, but it has a difference because pixel value does not change according to the screen size or specific devices, but it will change according to the screen size or if we set the base font size. Okay. So this is all for units. Then different types of layouts. First one is fixed layout. Fixed layout is pixel based, and this was the first layout came in web design history. It's very easy to create, and it has no change according to the screen size or devices. It's fixed in all its layout nature. Okay, and its main drawback is in small resolution, annoying horizontal scroll occurs. Okay, and there is big white space in large screens. It has lower usability score. This usability score, it's actually the score that we get from usability testing, like navigation and the overall look and presentation, definition, etc. Okay. This is an example for fixed layout. The top div has 960 pixels width, and then the inner div has 520 pixels, 200 pixels, 200 pixels, and these gutter sizes 20 pixels. Gutter size means the space between each grid. Grid means the horizontal or vertical lines or blocks that is used to align the content. Okay. So in total 960 pixels itself for the inner containers. Then fluid.
That was fixed.
Yeah, fixed. No change in any resolution. Then fluid layout. Fluid layout is percentage based or relative width based. It can change its layout according to the screen resolution or any device dependent. Okay. The main advantage is it will not have extensive white space in large screens because it fits to the window itself, and improved usability score than the fixed layout. Okay. This is an example. Here, I changed some of the structure here. Top div has 90% of width, and these gutters 5% and 5%, so 90% width. Then inner divs has 50%, 20%, 20%, then 5% of gutter size. So a total of 100%. It's 100% in total, and this is 90% in total. It's because it's a separate div from this container. Okay, it related to its parent only, parent container only. Okay. Then adaptive layout. Adaptive layout may or may not contain fixed or fluid grids. It may contain fixed or it may contain fluid grids. It's divided. That means adaptive layout uses media queries. We will have a session on media queries by Mr. Sumil soon. Adaptive layout uses media queries to detect the screen size or device, etc. And adaptive uses, this is an example. Adaptive uses specific resolutions in specific screen sizes. It means it will change its layout at specific intervals of resolutions. Sudden change to the layout. You can check that. Sudden change. A sudden change. Then only when only its layout changes when the screen resolution comes to another resolution. Okay. Next. Then responsive layouts. Responsive layout uses fluid grids only. That's the main difference between responsive and adaptive. It uses fluid grids only. Responsive design will be looking fine in any devices and any resolution. It's because its content can break or realign if needed. Okay. This is an example. Its layout changes periodically. When we scroll or when we resize the window, the layout remains same and content will break and realign. So this is a difference between adaptive and
Could you show both? That is, to understand what is the actual difference between adaptive?
adaptive means one layout, then another. Then if the screen reaches another resolution, specified resolution like 320, difference between the layout. For example, I have a layout on 320 resolution. Then I have a layout on 480 only. In between these resolution, there is no change for the layout, whole layout. Okay. In adaptive. But in responsive, the layout remains same, but the content will break and realign. Yeah, yeah. That's why it's look good in any device or in any resolution.
Even if they have fixed in between, also it will make
Change.
arrangements.
Yeah,
Adapt.
yeah. So I hope you got an idea about units and different layouts. Now I invite Mr. Rahul for the next session. Okay.
So actually, that is this should be an open interactive session, as I said earlier. That is, it should be like that is why did we learn these things? That is why should we learn this type of layouts as well as the what was the first thing that we did? The units, because it is also the key part in that is we should be knowing that if we want to do responsive designs. So this is the base. We should understand what these different types of units are, plus what are the different types of layout, right? So we just went through.
So we recommend EM or REM, M or REM, for the font size as well as for the layout structure.
So normally if you are doing responsive, we should use
REM or M. This is recommended. Okay.
still we can use PX also.
For specific elements only.
So normally if we design it for responsive, always we use RAM or EM.
No, the thing is, it depends. Actually, the thing is, it depends, because I have seen in Bootstrap, those guys are using pixel values for font. Why? Because they can avoid unnecessary calculations.
If I have one element of 300 pixel width, it will not change in any resolution. So I can give 300 pixel. So it will look same in mobile and in any higher resolution. Okay. For the overall layout, it should be M or RAM. Okay.
Yeah.
Percentage and EM difference, and when to use when.
Let me answer. I got it. So the main thing between percentage and EM or percentage and PX. Oh.
It's because percentage uses, yeah, right, it's related to its parent. But in EM, the default font size is considered as 1 EM. And if any specific element has a specific font size, okay, it will consider 1 EM as that font size. In percentage, there is no considering EM per percentage base. Nesting one. So here, the font size is 12 pixel. Okay, and in this 9 pixel because 12 into 7500 equal to 9 EM. If this element has a specific font size of 5, okay, if this element has a specific font size of 5 pixel, then the 1 EM is equal to 5 pixel. Okay, clear?
So specific means that we are mentioning it separately.
Separate font size.
Actually,
It's related to the font size also.
you are giving all that related to that,
Yeah.
right? So in either percentage or EM, I have to change the parent. So automatically, right?
But in percentage, if we have a specific font size, it will not affect padding or margin, something like that. It will not affect. But in this case, it will affect. Because the EM value is completely changed in that element. Okay. That's the main difference. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, that's all for now. I invite Mr. Rahul for the next session on frameworks.